Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video in a multi-video series related to Walt Disney World planning. Before we go ahead and get started, what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and take and click over here to the subscribe or the follow button somewhere around here. Maybe it's over here, something like that. Anyways, but go ahead and take and subscribe to this channel, subscribe to this video. The other thing that I'm going to try to highlight each video is going to be one of the shirts that I'm wearing. So as you can see right now, this shirt is a Snack Goals shirt. And you can see that there's the Mickey bar, the iconic Mickey bar. You have a bag or a box of popcorn, some type of a drink here, and then the Dole Whip or maybe some type of ice cream. And again, when we get to dining, I'll take and talk about all of these. And maybe I should have wore this shirt for the dining one, but my wife makes these shirts for me, and in fact, she's actually going to be in a couple of these videos as we do some of the filming. I think the girls will be in the videos. And so we're just going to end up making this kind of a family adventure. What is Walt Disney World? The parks, the water parks, the resorts. We'll talk about some transportation options that exist. I'll talk about Disney lingo as it relates to dining and dining plans, just highlighting those briefly. Talk about some of the extras that you get with a Walt Disney World vacation. And we'll go ahead and take and round out this video with information about park tickets and then kind of booking your vacation and some of the... What is Walt Disney World? Walt Disney World consists of 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, 22 resort hotels, and then Disney Springs, which is a huge dining, shopping, and entertainment center. Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, opened in 1971. It does span over 27,000 acres, and it's over about 43 square miles. The 4 theme parks on Walt Disney World property include Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Magic Kingdom has 32 attractions. They span over 6 different themed lands, including Cinderella's Castle, that big castle in the center, what most people typically call Walt Disney World. That is Cinderella's Castle, part of Magic Kingdom. Iconic attractions include Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, It's a Small World, and Pirates of the Caribbean. Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. It consists of 9 attractions, including the World Showcase, which is kind of on the back end of the park, and it was built with theming around 11 world nations, including Mexico, Norway, China, Germany, Italy, American Pavilion, Japan, Morocco, France, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Hollywood Studios currently is kind of a smaller park, but it was originally named MGM Studios. It was a TV film studio park, and the current name, which was changed in 2008, is Hollywood Studios now. Like I said, it's a smaller park. It only has 4 rides. It does have 7 shows, both live shows as well as kind of puppet or animated type shows. However, that is the park that is going through the biggest renovations as it relates to all of the parks. And opening this summer sometime is going to be Toy Story Land with a new roller coaster, a couple new rides, some restaurants. And really, it's going to make you feel like you're inside of Andy's backyard in the movie Toy Story. And then there is Star Wars Land, or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the name of the land. That is opening in summer of 2019. And then the last park that they have is Animal Kingdom, and I'll tell you, it's not just a zoo. There's 5 lands. It surrounds the iconic Tree of Life. It has 9 attractions with 2 live shows, and I would say one of the biggest attractions that's there that you probably see on the commercials is going to be Expedition Everest. And what that does is it takes you and puts you face to face to a real live Yeti, and that's quite a roller coaster to say the least. There's also 2 water parks on property. First one is Typhoon Lagoon, and the second one is Blizzard Beach. So Typhoon Lagoon is home to one of the world's largest wave pools. The theme is a tropical paradise that emerges from a furious fabled storm with a sprouting grounded shrimp boat at its landmark. There's 12 water park attractions, including storm slides, which are around 300 feet long, the surf simulator, which is part of the wave pool, and then a 5-story pitch black body slide. Blizzard Beach, legend has it that a freak snowstorm hit Florida and a ski resort was built. But the sunshine, of course, Florida sunshine melted it into some of the fastest, longest downhill thrills and fun for the whole family. There are also 12 water park themed attractions there as well. Disney Springs, like I stated before, is a huge outdoor shopping, dining, and entertainment center. It's full of a lot of nightlife. It does tend to open kind of late in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock, depending on the time of the year. and then it stays open quite a bit later in the night, between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. depending on, again, the time of year. It does get quite busy after the parks close. Also, it does get quite busy on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings, as it is a free attraction that Disney has in order to try to get some of the locals to go there, or maybe some people from Universal Studios or SeaWorld, or maybe they're there for Legoland or something outside of Disney. But it allows you to have kind of the Disney flair, but you don't necessarily have to take and pay to be on Disney property. There's free parking there as well. And it's a huge shopping, entertainment, dining complex. I mean, you have the Boathouse, which is a fine signature dining restaurant that has amphibicars that will launch into the water if you want to pay for that experience. There's the T-Rex restaurant that has animatronic T-Rex or dinosaurs in there. You have Rainforest Cafe with a exploding volcano, and then there's also World of Disney, which is the world's largest Disney store. And let me tell you, it's truly stimulation overload when you walk in. There's an entire section on Disney princesses, men's apparel, women's apparel, children's apparel, plush. There's seasonal section. This thing is huge. You will get lost if you are not careful within the store, and I think your wallet might get lost as well. Generally speaking about the resorts, there are currently 22 resorts on property. Now, there may be more depending on how you look at the numbers, but the way we look at it is situated around 22. They're separated in different categories from the most economical price range of value resorts up to moderates to the deluxe resorts, and then there's also Disney Vacation Clubs as well. There is a massive transportation system on Walt Disney World property. It is completely free to Walt Disney World guests. Your transportation options include the buses, boats, and monorails. There is a Magical Express service, which is a charter bus service in essence, that takes you from the airport to your resort, and then will return you back to the back to the airport on your departure completely for free. I will tell you that the buses run from every resort to the parks, to the water parks, and to Disney Springs when they're open, approximately every 20 minutes. The buses run as early as 2 hours before the parks open and 1 hour after the park closes. If you want to go from resort to resort and you have no vehicle there, or you don't want to take and pay for an Uber, how you do that is you have to connect through one of the connection points. One of the 4 parks, the 2 water parks, or Disney Springs. So say, for instance, you wanted to take and go from Art of Animation to the boardwalk. You would have to connect from Art of Animation on a bus, and you would go to whether it's Hollywood Studios and take the boat to the boardwalk or walk to the boardwalk. You could go to Hollywood Studios, you could go to Epcot, Magic Kingdom, or Animal Kingdom, and you could take and ride one of the resort buses from there back to your resort. So just keep in mind, Disney transportation is 100% free, but the only way you can go from resort to resort if you don't have your own vehicle and you want to use Disney transportation is you have to connect to a hub, which is one of the parks, one of the 2 water parks, or Disney Springs. Boats exist in the Magic Kingdom, the Epcot, as well as the Hollywood Studios areas, and each of the boats are themed based upon the area that they're servicing. And then you also have the iconic monorail system, which connects the 3 Magic Kingdom resorts, which are Polynesian, Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, and the Ticket and Transportation Center all the way to Magic Kingdom. And then there's also a Epcot loop that goes from the Ticket and Transportation Center to Epcot and then back again. Dining options, I will tell you, Disney is not typical theme park food like hot dogs, hamburgers, and fries. The culinary options really at Walt Disney World are completely endless. They're unbelievable, and you will not go away hungry by any means. I will tell you, you can still get hot dogs, pizza if you want, or you can take and try prime rib or a cinnamon roll burger. Let me tell you, that was actually pretty good when I tried it at All Stars Movies back in January. Disney categorizes dining into different options. The first one is counter service. Next one is table service. The third one is character dining, signature dining, and then your in-room dining, your room service. So counter service is kind of like mall food court type food. It ranges anywhere between $5 all the way up to $25, depending on exactly what you're looking for, what type of meal it is, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Table service is going to be your typical sit-down restaurants, and those prices range between $15 and $65 per person, depending on what your meal is and depending on what you're looking at getting. You do have to take and provide a tip to the server, whereas counter service you do not. Character dining, that is included in the parks and deluxe resorts. Most of them are buffet style, $30 to $45 per person. That does last between 60 and 90 minutes, and the character dining exists for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And again, video number 4, I'll take and talk about Disney dining as a whole, the dining plan, in a little bit more detail than what I'm providing you here. Signature dining is really fancy, but it's also very expensive. So if you want to try culinary experiences like you've never experienced before, Disney is the opportunity for that. Imagine yourself sitting on top of the Contemporary Resort, which is in the monorail loop at Magic Kingdom. It overlooks Magic Kingdom, and you're able to see Cinderella's castle and Space Mountain, and you just happen to be up there during dinner, and maybe you're munching on dessert with your spouse, and you're able to watch the fireworks exploding over top of Magic Kingdom. That, by all means, is well worth the money that Disney's able to provide for that experience. Your signature dining, however, though, is between $75 and $100 per person, depending on what you get, depending on where you're eating at, and again, which meal you're having. You also have in-room dining, which again is like room service. It's going to be your pizza, some other foods like pasta, salad. I think some of the resorts do offer a couple other maybe Italian dishes, but generally speaking, it's going to be your typical room service meals. I will caution you, though, however, Disney does a very good job from a security standpoint as it relates to protecting their guests, protecting their assets. However, there are some people that do come on Disney Resort property, and they will slide like a flyer underneath your door trying to sell you pizza or some type of delivery food, and you'll call them, you'll give them your credit card number, and then your food will never show up. And really, in essence, they were able to steal your money, and the company doesn't exist, and Disney can't stop that. So my suggestion to you is, while you're on Disney World property, eat Disney World food, order only from reputable places, and be happy with the food that you're offered, because again, you have phenomenal options there. And then your snacks, again, the Mickey-shaped ice cream bar, your Dole Whip, which is pineapple soft serve ice cream, and churros, tons of different snacks, tons of different things. You can get candy bars, you can get bags of chips, you can get bottles of pop, whatever you may want, and those range anywhere between $5 and $8. I will tell you that alcoholic beverages are quite a bit expensive, depending on where you're being served at, as well as what you're getting. I think a bottle of beer is like $9. Mixed drinks sometimes, if you want like a souvenir cup, is like $25. So really, I think it's like $10 for the drink plus $15 for the souvenir cup. So in that sense, if you're looking for an experience, definitely well worth the money. If you're looking at being frugal and trying to save money, I'd highly suggest that you may not purchase those products. Now, Disney does have 3 dining plans, and what Disney does with dining plans is they charge you a price per person, whether you're an adult or a child. And in Disney's eyes, any person that is the ages of 3 to 9 is a child. Anybody under the age of 3 doesn't exist in Disney's eyes for pricing points, but they're able to basically not be counted as occupancy in the rooms. They're able to go to the parks for free. They're able to dine off of your plate or your food for free. And then anybody over 9 in Disney's eyes is considered to be an adult, which means that you're having to pay higher prices. So Disney has 3 dining plans. The quick service plan, which includes 2 quick service meals, so 2 counter service meals, 2 snacks per person per day, and they're served to you in credits. So you basically get a block of credits for your entire trip, and you get to choose how you want to spend them. As long as you utilize all of them before the end of the trip, you don't lose them. If you don't use them, you lose them, which is why I'm going to talk about how maybe this might be a value or may not be a value. So again, quick service dining plan, 2 quick service meals, 2 snacks per person per day. Prices are $52.50 for adults and $21.74 for children. Then the dining plan, that is 1 table service meal, does include some of the character dining, 1 quick service meal, 2 snacks per person per day, with the price of $75.49 for adults and $25.75 for children. Deluxe dining, so 3 meals can be used in any combination, whether that's quick service, table service, signature dining, however you want to take and utilize those meal entitlements. 2 snacks. Pricing is $116.25 for adult and $39.99 for children. Again, per person, per night of your trip. So if you're there for 7 days, 6 nights, and you want the dining plan, that price is added on to your entire dining plan. When you're booking a reservation, it may seem like a shock. It may seem quite a bit expensive to go from a couple $1,000 trip up to a $5,000 trip. But the benefit of having the dining plan is that you really don't have to necessarily spend any extra funding in the parks or while you're there for food, unless you choose to go up and above and beyond what your dining plan is, or you have to tip, which on the table service or the dining plan or the deluxe dining plan, anytime you have a table service meal, you do have to take and provide gratuity, with the exception of a couple restaurants, and I think in video 4 we'll go ahead and take and talk about those. The other thing that each person gets, each paying person gets a resort refillable mug, and on the bottom of this mug here, you can't really see it, is a little tiny microchip on the inside. And the way this works is you put the mug onto a soda dispenser or pop dispenser, and it will tell you, it's good for, like, I think it's 2 weeks after the start of your trip, and basically it allows you to go to any one of the Walt Disney World resorts and you can refill this mug with soda, juice, coffee, tea, and hot chocolate. Completely free, or it's included. Normally these things are like $20 with tax. They did have 2 different options, and they have multiple different colors. So here is an example of last year's model, which was the older design. And again, the designs are actually kind of cool. It does have all of the resorts on there, so you can see Pop Century, Art of Animation, and I'm going the wrong way, hang on. You have Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, maybe Donald's not on there. And then you have all the different resorts. Oh, there's Pluto. Hang on, is Donald and Daisy on there? Let's see. Nope, they're not on there. But anyways, this one doesn't have a handle on it. They only did this for like 6 or 8 months, and then a lot of people complained, and so they brought the ones with the handle back. There's multiple different colors. There is, I think there's yellow, there's red, pink, purple, blue. I don't think there's a green, but there's multiple different colors. And really, you can take them into the parks with you if you want to. You just can't fill them up there for free. And water parks, they have their own refillable mug system. But for the resorts, if you're just resort hopping or you're just spending some time in your resort, the refillable mugs are kind of a cool little thing to be included. Our family doesn't drink a lot of pop, so the girls get them and we just fill them with ice water when we go down to the pool and let them kind of hang out at the pool. And then when they come back home, they have really cool little mugs. So with that, I'm going to take a drink because I'm getting a little parched. All right, I'm not going to edit that out because that's a great plug for the refillable mugs. I will tell you, though, that new for 2018 as it relates to the Disney dining plans, guests 21 and older are able to order 1 single-served mixed cocktail, beer, or wine where offered within their meal entitlement. So part of your meal entitlement does include the meal itself plus a drink. And so for lunch and dinner, you could take and get an alcoholic beverage with your dining plan. Now what's neat about that is that actually is a great value if you partake in those type of drinks, because a pop there is like $2 or $3 or maybe $3 or $4, whereas a beer is $9. So if you want to look at what the value as it relates to a dining plan, and you get 2 of those a day, that's $18 right there. Let's say you, so $18 for 2 alcoholic beverages. You get 2 snacks, each of those are $6. So I'm terrible at math. What'd I say? 18 plus 12, so that's 30. And then you get 2 meals, let's say 2 quick service meals, 2 $15 meals, that's another 30. So you're looking at $60 for a day's worth of meals. So 2 quick service meals, 2 snacks with 2 alcoholic beverages, $60. The quick service dining plan, $52.50. So you're saving some money there at $7.50. Now, I will tell you, the value is based upon your eating habits. So for us, we don't typically eat a lot of really big meals. For breakfast, we'll maybe do some type of like a breakfast biscuit or Pop-Tarts, or maybe just a quick little bowl of cereal or something very quick, very easy for breakfast. Or maybe we wait until kind of mid-morning and have like a brunch, and then we do like a dinner and maybe a snack in between. So for us, we noticed that the dining plan, which we went on the regular dining plan, which is 1 table service, 1 quick service, and 2 snacks per day. We used up all of our snack credits on the very last day. We spent like $150 at the bakery at Hollywood Studios. But normally, we wouldn't have spent that money. The only reason why we spent it, or the only reason why we bought those things, was because we had the snack credits to take and use up. If we wouldn't have done that, the dining plan would not have been of value for us, and in fact, it would have been about $50 more expensive for us. Now, when just Teresa and I went there in January, if we would have went on the quick service dining plan, we were there for just 2 days, it would have saved us overall $15. Now, $15 in the grand scheme of things isn't a huge deal, but if you're a much larger family, you have multiple different people there, you're doing lots of different meals, the dining plan may or may not provide you some savings. And again, video number 4, I'll take and talk about it in greater detail. I will tell you, Disney makes it so that if you have pre-planning and you plan your trip, it does take and pays off. Dining reservations start at 180 days. That's 6 months prior to the start of your trip. So you really have to think about what you want for a Disney vacation greater than 6 months from the start of your trip, because it pays to plan. If you want to go to Cinderella's Castle, you wanted to be our guest, you want to eat at Garden Grill or Hollywood and Vine or Tusker House and Animal Kingdom, you need to do your dining reservations on that 180-day mark at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're on your computer or your cell phone and you're booking those reservations if you want to get those. And again, reservations are only for table service, character dining, as well as your signature dining. Now, some additional things that Disney does have, they have a thing called FastPass Plus, which is a kind of a free jump-in line service. Do not let people tell you that Disney charges for this. Disneyland does charge for this service. Walt Disney World does not. Owned by the same company, it's just a different way that they do it. And it limits the number of jump-in lines you get per guest, per park, per day. Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom allow you to do, well, Animal Kingdom just changed it. So Magic Kingdom allows you to do up to 3 per guest per day, per that park. Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom all have kind of like a tiered system because of the new opening of Pandora. That's why Animal Kingdom has changed that. But the way it works is that you get a fast pass for a certain time. You have an hour to be able to utilize that fast pass time for that ride. So, for instance, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Magic Kingdom, it is the newest attraction there. That's a roller coaster, and the lines typically are a couple hours long. Well, I don't have enough time to wait a couple hours in line to be able to go on a ride that lasts, a minute or so. It's a cool ride, but it's not worth me standing in line for 2 hours. I get a fast pass. There's a separate line there. As long as I come within my hour, I go ahead and take and get on that ride, and I'm typically waiting about maybe 5-10 minutes. All the rest of the rides, you basically just walk right on. There's no waiting at all for FastPass Plus. Now, if you're staying on resort property, again, it pays to stay on resort property. Resort guests can book that within 60 days of the beginning of their trip. Everyone else has to wait for 30 days. You can book them if you're doing a spur-of-the-moment trip. You can try to book them that day. However, you may not get the best rides there, and you're stuck standing in line. Disney also does offer extra magic hours, which is 1 park per day, each day of the week. And what it does is it allows a certain park to open up maybe an hour early, or another park to stay open a couple hours later. It's usually just a couple extra hours. It's only available to Walt Disney World Resort guests. And during the busy times of the season, like in the fall or the winter, they do add some extra time, even extra magic hours, depending on what the parks are at from a capacity standpoint, or how many guests are rolling through, or maybe they have an event or something going on. And so they do provide some extra things as it relates to extra magic hours. When I was there in November a couple years ago, we were able to stay in the park until 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were not there for a party that they had, or an event that they had. We got there at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and we were able to stay there until 2 o'clock in the morning, which was amazing. It was kind of creepy. It was pretty amazing. The other thing that Disney does have is something called Rider Switch, which is really built for families with small children. So any ride that has a height requirement One parent and the other subsequent children that can ride the ride together, and then the other parent waits with the children or the child that cannot ride. Then, after you're done with the ride, and you do get this parent switch or rider switch pass when you first get there, up to the line, and you get done with the ride, and you hand that rider switch pass to the other parent, the parent that was waiting, and then the children that are able to ride the ride get to go with that parent and ride the ride. So, for instance, for us, we had a fast pass for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, so myself, Annabelle, and Abby were able to take and go on to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because all three of us had the fast pass. We rode the ride, we picked up the rider switch pass, we got off of the ride, I handed it to Teresa, and then she went on again with Annabelle and Abby while I stayed back with Little Man and Allie. So it was cool because the two littler ones with Teresa were able to go on a ride, and then I was able to go on a different ride with the little one and with Allie. So really, the children get to benefit because they get to take and ride a ride twice, and the parents get to benefit because we were able to take and ride the ride at least once. It is kind of a hidden thing. Not many people know about rider switch or that process. Even some of the cast members or Disney staff members sometimes have trouble understanding what rider switch is, even though it's their own system. Sometimes there's flukes with some of the cast members. That's another later story, I think. The other thing that I want to take and highlight are magic bands. So magic bands here you can kind of see are these silicone wristbands. So there's a green one, there's pink, there's yellow, and I'll explain why the yellow part here is missing. I have a blue one here, and I'll show you why this one's a little bit different. This is actually the older style wristband. This is the newer style. So these are original magic bands. These are the 2.0. You can see a little bit different, kind of more like a watch style. But again, I'll explain why Disney did that because it relates to this hole that we have on the yellow one. There's this purple one here. Normally the purple one doesn't have the blue vinyl on there or the teal vinyl, but Teresa put that on for herself. There's gray, and then we have orange and red. So red, again, Teresa put a little vinyl on there to make it decorative, and then this one is orange for kind of the monorail, and again, she put that on there. These are included with your Walt Disney World. They are included with your Walt Disney World reservation. It basically is a wristband. It does clip in as well. The way that these work, I'll just throw them all down, screw it. Okay, so the way that these work is you have this kind of the gray color, and then you have the colored section in the wristband. If you wanted to have or be able to fit this on a child that's quite a bit smaller from a wristband standpoint, you're able to take and just peel this gray part off, and then you're left with just the smaller wristband. These are 100% waterproof, and they can go into the pool. They can get wet, they can get hot, they can basically, they're perfectly fine. Now, the reason why Disney did switch up the wristbands is that it allows you to remove this little section here, this little center section. This is actually what has all the information. I'll explain what information is on there in a second. This is simply just the carrier device. So for us, Allie didn't want to take and peel off her wristband. She also didn't want to take and wear her wristband because she kept taking it off. So what we ended up doing is Disney does sell these little carabiner clips and this outside ring that you can take and put the little puck on the inside, and then it does screw in there, and it's nice and tight so it doesn't go anywhere. And we just clipped this to her belt loop, or we clipped it to the backpack as we were going through the parks. So what is on the Magic Bands? So the Magic Bands will be your Magical Express bus ticket. They're your resort room key, your park tickets along with your fingerprint. They are your Fast Pass Plus tickets. It is your dining plan credits. If you have those, you're able to upload your credit card onto there for spending purchases or things that you want to take or spending authorizations or different purchases. And it is controlled with a PIN, so you do have to take and designate a 4-digit PIN. For some reason, your Magic Band gets lost and somebody else picks it up and they try to send it or spend it. As long as your number isn't a common number that somebody should know, it does allow you to kind of have some security there. It does allow you to fully customize up to 30 days prior to the start of your trip the color, as well as a 9-digit character that goes onto the back of the wristband. And again, your colors are going to be red, yellow, pink, purple, green, blue, orange, and gray. They are included in your reservation. You can take and purchase designed ones if you wanted to. Disney prices those anywhere between $15 and $30 depending on exactly what kind of design you're looking for. Approximately 2 weeks before the beginning of your trip, they do take and ship those to your home. They do come via USPS. You get a tracking number, and it's a cool little box that takes and that they come in. And I think we have a video of maybe us unboxing one, so we'll go ahead and take and show you what that video looks like in the future. And also, when you do your when you do a reservation that includes your room, so your resort reservation, and you include tickets, Disney, depending on the color of your wristband, does provide you the souvenir luggage tags. So if you have a yellow wristband, you get Mickey. Green wristband, you get Goofy. Pink wristband, you get Daisy. Blue, you get Donald. Minnie is red. And then purple is vintage Mickey and Minnie. And then what goes on the back of there is your name, 2 lines for your address, and a phone number. They do provide the little tags that go onto your luggage for you. And again, it's just something that Disney does in order to kind of identify your luggage for you and make it a little bit of fun. If you're only doing resort room only reservations, they do not include these. You still get the magic bands, but you do not get these little luggage tags. And frankly, I don't remember what gray comes with, so you can take and look it up on YouTube and see what design. Maybe it's Pluto. Yes, Pluto, I bet, is gray. The other thing that Disney does for you is they do have a luggage service. So each person in your reservation does receive one of these little baggage tags in the mail. And each of them are based upon the resort area as it relates to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or Hollywood Studios, depending on where your hotel is at. And these little Mickey icons change colors, and it says AK for Animal Kingdom, because that's just the box or the luggage cart where they put your luggage on. But basically what you do is you go ahead and take and put this on at your home airport on your luggage. Disney will go ahead, or not Disney, but the airline will go ahead and take and put theirs on with this one. And then when your luggage arrives at Orlando Airport, Disney will take your luggage from the airport to your hotel for you for free. You don't have to touch your luggage. So as soon as you drop it off the airport at your home airport, Disney will take and deliver your luggage to your room. Now, it is a delayed service. It's about 3 to 6 hours. Disney, I think, tells you 3. We've seen it all the way up to 6 hours. But 3 to 6 hours from the time that you arrive in Orlando at the airport, your luggage will take and show up in your room. If you do not want to take and utilize this service, all you simply have to do is just pick up your luggage at the baggage claim. Now, they do also offer a return service where if your flight is any time leaving after 9 a.m. or before 4 p.m. and your airline participates in airline check-in at the resort, and again, I'll talk about that on video number 3, you're able to have Disney take your luggage to the airport for you, and it just shows up at your home airport on its baggage claim. A couple other things that are included in your reservations, if you include dining and or the park tickets along with your room reservation, you do get vouchers, up to 4 vouchers total for your for mini golf. It's a resort day activity typically for us. Disney does have 2 miniature golf courses on resort property. The first one is Winter Summerland, which is 2 18-hole golf courses. It's themed either winter or summer, and it's themed around Christmas or the holiday season with Santa and elves and penguins and different things depending on what side you're on. It is stroller friendly. Children under 3 are free, and they still get to golf. They give them like a plastic golf club and the golf ball to be able to go with. And at Winter Summerland, they do get a little prize, which for us was either a candy cane or a golf ball that has a Christmas tree painted on it. And so we chose the golf ball with the Christmas tree versus the candy cane because of the food dye allergies for our girls. The other golf course, which is in the Swan Resort area, is Fantasia Gardens. Again, there's 2 18-hole golf courses. The themes are either Fantasia 2000 or like a real golf course style, just in really, really miniature with real roughs and and real sand traps and water traps, etc. Now that one as well is stroller friendly. Children are three are free, plus they still get to golf. One thing that we did notice with this one last time was that there was no prize. There was no prize at all. There wasn't a candy cane. There wasn't a golf ball. Not that we're entitled to those or we were expecting them, but the other golf course that's owned by Disney does offer that, and in this case, this resort did not. Now, the last two things we'll go ahead and take and talk about in this video. The first one is going to be the park tickets, and what Disney calls those are Magic Your Way tickets, depending on how you want to take and set them up. So you have single park per day, so you can go to one park per day. That's one option. You can do park hopper, which allows you one day to go to as many parks as you want. You have park hopper plus, which is you can go to all the parks, you can hop back and forth, and you're able to go to the water parks if they're open. And the price for, let's say, just a single park per day is $137 per adult, and children 3 to 9, it's $130. Now, if you add a 10-day ticket, so Disney offers an option for you that as you add more days to your vacation, the tickets get cheaper. So again, remember, a single park per day ticket, one day, $137 for an adult. An adult 10-day ticket is $469. So really, it's kind of like buy 4, get 5, or buy 4, get 6 days free, really, in essence. If you want to add park hopper, you're adding only $75 onto that 10-day ticket. So now your total is $549. And if you want to add Park Hopper Plus, all you're doing is adding another $15 to that. So an adult 10-day Park Hopper Plus ticket is $565. Now, that can be expensive if you start adding up like a family of ours, a family of 6. Luckily, Little Man right now is free. Allie a couple years ago was free. But if you wanted to look at what an adult ticket is for 5 days, maybe it might be more economical for you versus the 6 days or the 10 days or whatever the case may be. There's also authorized ticket resellers out there. So if you're a Costco member, there are discounts through Costco's travel system. If you are a Florida resident or if you know Florida residents, there's discounts that they're able to receive there. I think Publix grocery store is also offering some discounted tickets. There's also authorized resellers online that you can go ahead and take and purchase through, and I think maybe I'll add a couple links potentially in this video or maybe in a later video to some of those authorized ticket resellers. But they do offer typically multi-day Park Hopper or Park Hopper Plus tickets for cheaper than what you can take and purchase through Disney. Now, the reason why I'm doing all of this is really so you guys can take and book a Disney vacation. We are very comfortable when it comes to finances, which allows us to be able to go to Disney. However, we're not very comfortable to be able to take and shell out $5,000 in a single drop of a moment. What Disney allows you to do is if you are booking a room reservation, dining, and or your park tickets, so if you're doing room plus something else, you can pay a $200 deposit and then you pay it off all the way up to 30 days prior to the start of your trip. So again, I said planning is key. So you book it 8 months out, you do all your dining reservations, you're on the dining plan, and say for instance your trip is $5,000, you take and pay $200, and then you pay off a certain amount per month all the way up to 30 days prior to the start of your trip, and then you're able to take and go to Disney. All your food's covered with the exception of gratuity. There's some tips that are involved. Typically, if you want to tip mousekeeping, which is Disney's term for housekeeping, the Magical Express drivers, and I'll talk about tips in a different video. But the cool thing about Disney is it allows you to do a deposit if you're doing an entire resort or an entire vacation. If you're doing room only, they do require at least 1.5 nights deposit down for your room only reservation, and then you have to pay all the rest of it off prior to checking in, or actually as soon as you check in. Disney does offer commissions to travel agents. So if a travel agent tells you, oh, I can take and book your Disney vacation trip for you, but it's going to cost you $300, don't go with them. Because Disney, what they do is they take the same price of the trip that they're going to take and charge you, but instead of them keeping the commissions, they provide that to a travel agent. They do offer all the same stuff when it relates to the $200 deposit, being able to make payments, still get the magic bands, you can do all of that. Really, in essence, all you're doing is you're giving all of your stuff to the travel agent. They're the ones that are getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do your dining reservations. They're the ones that are getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning on the 60 days out to do your Fast Pass Plus reservations. So if you're not a control freak like me and you don't want to take and plan your entire vacation completely out down to the minute, use a travel agent. they'll do it for you, but use a Disney authorized travel agent that's out there. There's also some third-party services like Orbitz or Priceline that do offer Walt Disney World vacations, but you have to pay for them in complete and full upfront unless you're going to utilize one of the payment options that maybe one of those services have. Costco Travel, I think you have to pay up front. So for me, I like booking through Disney because it's pretty easy. Even though I know Disney's taking and they're going to be able to keep those commissions, it allows me to be able to book my dining reservations. It allows me to be able to book my Fast Pass reservations for my entire family, and allows me to have complete control, be able to make payments right on there with a credit card or debit card or checking account or gift cards or whatever we may have, and it makes it easier for us. Now, I will tell you right now, currently, as it stands, January 27th, 2018, Disney is accepting reservations all the way until December 31st, 2018. Starting in July, they will open up all of 2019 reservation blocks. Now, Disney does offer discounts. They are not being nice. Don't think that they're being nice. What they're doing is they're trying to entice people to take and book a vacation through them. Their typical discounts are going to be room discounts, and they're tiered depending on what resort you're staying at. So moderate value resorts are typically like 5 or 10% discount. Deluxe resorts are usually 20 to 30% discount, or whatever the case may be. They also do offer free dining, so again, that's based upon tiers. So if you're in a value resort or moderate resort and you're able to block within a certain time period and you happen to be at the resort in the right rooms and the right dates, then you're able to get the quick service dining plan included in your reservation for free. If you're staying at a deluxe resort, you get the dining reservation, the regular dining plan included in your reservations. The benefit for you is if your travel dates are flexible, then you benefit from the security of booking early and then be able to change to accommodate to be able to receive a Disney discount. So just because you book it doesn't mean you're blocked into that date. 2 years ago, we booked it very, very early on, and then I kept calling and calling and calling as soon as they released the free dining for that fall, and I kept getting denied, and that was like April, May, and June. And I said, you know, I'm going to take a call one more time. I'm going to call like 32 days out before the beginning of my trip. And I called them, and I was able to get free dining, which saved us $1,500. But hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. Go ahead and take and subscribe. I think it's over here. Or follow, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and take and share the video on your social media. Any of your friends or family that you think may benefit from these Disney vacation planning videos. And again, we'll go ahead and take and do some additional videos here. So with that, thank you all very much, and make sure you guys have a great day. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. Bye.